This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV. We're here in Oslo at the North Shipping 2017, and we're very happy to have Mr. Roy Strand of Goltens. And Roy, first and foremost, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Greg.
Roy, just to start things off, can you give us your title and your area of responsibility?
Sure. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Goltens Worldwide. Have global responsibility for the operations of the company around the world.
Okay. I know Goltens well because you started in our backyard in New York City many, many years ago. And many, many years ago. What was it, 76
years ago.
Wow. Obviously, the Goltens name is known very well amongst the people watching this and the readers of the magazine. But for those who might not be initiated, can you just give an overview of Goltens today?
Sure. We're a global independent specialist repair and service company that specializes in diesel engine repair, in situ machining, and green technology retrofits. We've got offices in 15 different countries around the world, 25 different locations with about 1,200 people.
Roy, we've been talking about, and we talk about in our magazine often, the cost of compliance. Obviously, there are a raft of new rules and regulations that dictate what ships and ship owners can put into the air and put into the sea. It's driving costs for them at a time when costs are tough to absorb, particularly if they are if it's a cost and they're not reaping any capital benefit from it. With that as a backdrop, can you give an overview of what Goltens offers, or perhaps we can start with the specific product niches that you see falling under this cost of compliance category today?
Relative to compliance, you have the ballast water treatment convention, obviously, and then you have the sulfur, emissions compliance coming in 2020. Mm-hmm. You have one's a payback and one's pure cost. So, and in either case, the customers are looking to minimize the cost of that capital investment. We've been investing in a process for the past 6 years to move the ballast water treatment retrofits into a repeatable and efficient process. So we've been investing in the 3D laser scanning technology. We have design engineers on board that can do the modeling of the system, see how they're going to fit before they go ahead and try and decide on a system, and then take those 3D scans and convert them into very accurate, detailed isometrics that we can prefabricate piping and come on board and actually install kit instead of fit pipe on board. In addition to that, the investments have been such that when you have a set of sister vessels and you've done one lead ship in a class, the repeatability or the costs that we are able to minimize in doing the sister vessels is significant because you don't have to redo all the work. And that applies to both the ballast water side as well as the exhaust gas scrubber installation. So for us, our investments have been to incubate that capability in Rotterdam over the past 6 years and then replicate that in places around the world so that we can service the customer wherever their vessel is. So the key point is that they can get contract and they can get coordination within one time zone with their own language, but they can get that vessel scanned halfway around the world by another Goltens location in an economical way.
The green technology, that's been about a 6 to 7 year investment.
Started that in 2011, and we've done, we've got in process or completed over 250 retrofit projects around the world.
Obviously, the cost of compliance is changing this industry, I would think. You're starting to see some companies perhaps priced out of the market, but from where you sit, obviously you deliver a value proposition to the end user. But how do you see any material impacts in the way that this is impacting or changing the market today?
Yeah, I think you're going to see increased scrapping rates. I think you have a lot of companies that are trying to bring their vessels in early, trying to get that 5-year extension so that they don't have to install the ballast water treatment systems, and that they're going to weigh that investment in that ballast water system against keeping that vessel in service or scrapping that vessel when the time comes. So, you're going to see older tonnage potentially come out of the market and have it clear, I think.
Now, the 3D scanning system, is this a system that is proprietary to Goltens, something that you developed, or is this a partnership?
It's just it's a commercial off-the-shelf three-dimensional scanning capability. I think we were one of the first that were actually using it for the ballast water side of the house, but we're able to go on board for a ballast water system, and during a one-day period while the vessels in port without disturbing the operation, scan the entire engineering space and put together basically a three-dimensional image of every connection, all the piping, and go back, and then without intrusion have done this. We've done a vessel survey, so we know where the power connections are. We know where the fire main connections are. So it's a very non-intrusive, quick and easy way to get a very, very accurate layout of the engine, but it's not proprietary.
Okay, so obviously this is a challenging market right now. By region, by vessel type, where do you see the greatest opportunity today?
It's really hard to say. That the vessel owners have really gotten to the point where they're in cost minimization mode, and it's almost a repair when necessary with deferred maintenance in many sectors. So to get to a position where you're doing planned maintenance, I think a lot of them are taking it in house. So we're still seeing a lot of casualty repair. But in terms of just picking one segment or one region, I can't really put my thumb on it. It varies month to month, and it varies sector to sector.
Just in conclusion, how do you find the North Shipping 2017?
It's a little slower than prior years. That some of the places you would expect to see booths and some of the people you would expect to see here aren't here. I'm curious whether it's a lagging indicator or a leading indicator for health of the industry, but it's always a good show. That's why we're here. We're here every year. So, but we're hoping it yields some good opportunities for us.
Roy, as always, we appreciate your time.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
And this is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV.